It's finally here, election week has arrived, and you might have some questions about how the whole process will unfold, so we thought we'd answer them for you. So on Thursday, July 4th, you'll be wanting to know where you can go to cast your vote, if you haven't already submitted a postal ballot, that is. On your polling card, which will arrive at your house, sent by your council, it usually has the details of your local polling station, and if not, you can easily find them online on your council website. You won't need to take the polling card with you to cast your vote, although some people do, but you will need to bring photo ID, which is a new requirement in this general election. So something that's a bit surprising is on election day, you won't really see any political coverage, especially on broadcast TV, radio, online videos, because broadcasters are not allowed to publish or broadcast anything which could influence the way people vote. Kind of a sensible policy, really. So it's kind of radio silence until 10 p.m. on election night when the exit poll drops. The exit poll is essentially a poll taken of how people have actually voted. You'll have people standing at polling stations, some polling stations across the country, and they will essentially ask people, are you happy to share how you voted? Because the vote's now in the past, so they can, if they're happy to, they can share the details of that. And from those samples, we're able to gather a picture of how things are likely to look once all the votes have been counted. So this can be a number of things. We will see results trickling in over the night. By about sort of 3-4 a.m, we're going to be getting that real flood of results coming in from constituencies all over the country. What we can roughly expect is maybe by 6-7 a.m, something like that, we might expect to have a general picture of across most of the country how the majority for which party has won is shaping up. However, nothing is certain, and I don't have a crystal ball to predict the future, so we don't know for sure. We don't know whether there are going to be recounts called in specific seats where there have been issues with the way polls have been cast or ballots have been counted. That could slow the process down, and ultimately it's not looking like the most likely outcome, but if the option of a hung parliament was to emerge into Friday morning, that would then take a lot of conversations between the parties about who could form a government. So ultimately we don't really know for sure, but usually by about 6 or 7 a.m. we have a rough idea of how the next few hours at least are going to go. So the way we count votes in the UK is through the first past the post voting system. It's quite a simple system. Essentially, in every constituency, the candidate who gets the most votes, more than any other, they win the seat, they're elected to Parliament, and they form a part of their party's majority in the House of Commons. It's quite simple, but obviously there are some issues with it because a lot of other people in that seat and seats across the country, if they vote for the candidate who doesn't win, they could vote up to 49% to other candidates and they won't get any representation for their vote in Parliament. So it can lead to some people feeling their vote's essentially been wasted, it won't be reflected in the makeup of the chamber. There's so many ways to keep up to date with everything that's happening throughout the night, whether you're staying up or getting up very early to find out what flavour of government we're waking up to. BBC, Sky News, Channel 4, ITV, Times Radio, all of these broadcasters will have their election coverage on throughout the hours of the night. However, there's also another very easy way to keep up to date with everything, especially here in London, and that's through City A.M's live blog. And of course, I'll be at counts in London throughout the night, bringing you all the colour as results come in. So like and subscribe to keep up to date.